Did you know that even the smartest people fall prey to irrational thinking every day? In The Art of Thinking Clearly, Rolf Dobelli reveals the mental traps and biases that cloud our judgment and shows us how to make better decisions. 1. Survivorship bias. Explanation. Imagine you're only looking at people who are good at video games and thinking, wow, it must be easy to get good, but you're not seeing all the people who gave up or didn't make it that far. This is called survivorship bias. It's when we only look at winners and forget all the people who didn't succeed, making us think success is easier than it actually is. Example. Let's say we hear about famous YouTubers who make a lot of money. It's easy to think, I can do that too, no problem. But what we don't see are the thousands of people who tried and didn't make it. Survivorship bias makes us believe success is more common than it really is. Takeaway. Remember, for every big success story, there are many others who didn't succeed. So, try to see the whole picture before deciding. 2. Confirmation bias. Explanation. This is when we like to believe things that match what we already think. So, instead of searching for the full truth, we look for stuff that proves we're right and ignore anything that says we might be wrong. Example. Imagine you believe pineapple on pizza is terrible. You probably notice all the people who agree with you and ignore anyone who says, actually, I like it. That's confirmation bias. Takeaway. To think clearly, don't just look for information that agrees with you. Try to understand both sides, even if it feels strange at first. 3. Authority bias. Explanation. Sometimes we believe someone just because they're an expert or in a position of power, even if what they're saying isn't right. Authority bias is when we trust authority figures without asking questions. Example. Let's say a famous celebrity tells everyone a new candy is healthy. Because they're popular, people might believe them without checking if it's true. This is authority bias. Trusting what they say because they're famous, not because it's a fact. Takeaway. It's okay to question what you hear, even if the person is popular or powerful. Facts are what matter most. 4. Outcome bias. Explanation. Outcome bias is when we judge a decision based on how things turned out rather than whether the decision was a good one to begin with. Example. Imagine you cross a busy road without looking, and you get lucky because no cars were coming. You might think, that was a good choice because nothing bad happened, but crossing without looking is still dangerous. You just got lucky. Outcome bias tricks us into thinking a choice was smart just because things turned out okay. Takeaway. Don't judge decisions by what happened in the end. Instead, think about if it was a safe and smart choice when you made it. 5. Recency effect. Explanation. Our minds tend to remember things that happened recently more than things that happened a while ago, which can make us overvalue recent information. Example. Imagine you're asked to name 5 vegetables, and yesterday you just learned about beets. You'll probably put beets on your list because you remember it best, even if you know many other vegetables. That's the recency effect. We focus more on the latest information, even if it's not the most important. Takeaway. When making a decision, think back to everything you know, not just what happened recently. Conclusion. Rolf Dobelli's book shows us that by noticing these mental tricks, we can avoid falling into their traps. By being more aware, we can start making smarter, clearer decisions. Pause before deciding. When making a decision, take a moment to think, am I sure this is the full picture? Challenge your own beliefs. Try looking at things from a different angle or asking, what if I'm wrong? Focus on how you decide, not just what happened. Evaluate your choices based on the process, not just the result. Now that you know a few of these mental tricks, try catching them in your own life. And if you want to learn more about how to think clearly, hit subscribe for more videos like this one.